You need to learn to be manipulative. I was having a discussion with a friend. I was getting counsel and asking how to go about a conversation where I told a authoritative figure in my life that he's a bad representation of leadership, that he doesn't treat people well, and he's not really a very kind person. And the answer I got was, you said something that could have been very constructive and was very true, but you said it in the wrong way, which lead him to completely disregard what you said. Then he continued to explain all the different ways you can talk to somebody who's very arrogant and pig-headed or insecure, and the ways you can kind of lead them in the direction of agreeing with you or understanding your point. And I looked at him and I said, that seems like just acute manipulation. And he looked back at me and he said, welcome to the human condition. The same way you have to learn a different language to learn how to speak to a certain subsection of people, whether it's in Central America or in Africa or in Russia, you need to learn how to talk to them, right? It's a method of communication and altering your method of communication so that someone can understand you. In the same way, there are different people who won't understand something if you put it in the same way where someone would understand it. It's called rhetoric. You have to manipulate your words in order to relay a message as best as you can, but it's contingent on the person receiving it. So you have to learn to master talking to people. And you also need to learn to master talking to yourself. Learn to manipulate yourself. When you feel like you're going through a hard time, find a way to talk yourself through the way the world works, why you need to continue working hard, why it's important to try. Maybe it's telling yourself that life is a game that you always wish you could play, and now you finally get to be there. Maybe it's convincing yourself that your life can turn into incredible things if you just put in the work. And that's not even manipulation. That's just a mindset that can be made true based off conviction and effort. When I say you need to manipulate yourself, I mean find whatever method you must to convey the message that you need to keep going. You need to keep trying. There's a rhetoric that you must use for everybody. And in the same sentence, there's a rhetoric you must use for yourself. You need to find a way to bring yourself out of the depths of despair, to inspire hope in yourself like you would want to in others. And you need to learn to do that by having personal conversations with others about yourself and your problems, and then talking yourself through your issues when you're having them, when you're really struggling. And if you can't do that, if you can't bring it to yourself, bring it to God. At first, it really bothered me because I was like, fuck, you're telling me I have to manipulate people. I used to be a pathological liar. I used to lie to everybody about stories in my life, about attributes that I had because I really wanted people to like me. And I've since put that behind me. But then I got the idea that I have to start doing it again, and that disgusted me because I've been trying so hard working toward and away from that completely. And I realized that I'm not manipulating anybody. I'm learning to speak. I'm learning to communicate, to convey information. And being a good communicator does not make you manipulative. Manipulative means you are trying to force somebody in through subconscious pathways to do something that they otherwise wouldn't want to do. But if I loved you very dearly and I said, hey man, listen, I know that you've always wanted to really get in shape. And I know it's something that's been bothering your confidence, the fact that you haven't been doing it. And I really think it's time to take that step. Now, is that better or worse than saying, you're a fat piece of shit and you need to get to work right now? It depends on the person, right? Some people need a slap in the face, but some people need a gentle coaxing in the right direction. And it's up to you to interpret which they need. And you get that from getting to know somebody, which is why I think that it's so hard to get a following of people who love you on social media, is because everyone needs to be communicated to differently. So wherever you have people who love you, you're always going to have haters, because whatever rhetoric you're spinning doesn't suit them. Whatever you're saying might be completely true, but the way you're putting it, they don't fucking like it. So find the way to put it so that you'll like it. Find a way to organize your life so that you'll like it. Your internal thought and dialogue so that you'll like it, so that you'll love it, so that you'll find actual, commitment to your own life and your successes and your journey. Find a way to talk to yourself. Be a manipulator.